IPJ and my man, John Buckets. Buckets! Proper intro. Do you know why?
Why?
It's the Champions League.
Oh, damn it. That's why. Oh.
Yeah. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I have been looking forward to this matchup for so long, and we're recording a little behind the scenes sneak peek at a bit of a different time than usual. So I'm a little bit wired right now. Maybe some more energy than you're used to seeing from me, which is not a bad thing.
A little alcoholic beverage thrown in there.
Maybe a little bit of alcoholic beverage. Who's to tell? Who's to tell?
Listen, everybody out there, make sure you are following Stoppage Time across the board, fcstoppagetime.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter as well. We're still putting them out, maybe not as frequently. We'll still get back into it as well. We just need more games. We need more activity to do so. We're trying to figure a few things out. Once we figure out exactly like where we're going, I can guarantee you that FIFA Club World Cup, we're going to go incredibly heavy on that one, minus my vacations because I'm going to take some trips away. However, John Bucketimer will be in there with all his best bets as much as possible. Buckets, how you been? Talk to me about what you've been up to before we get stuck into this Champions League stuff. I know you've been active. I also saw your name on CBS Sports Galazzo when they put a post out, Champions League best bets.
You might have seen my name, or maybe someone with a very similar name, debating on what time you see this at. I did get my very first post on the CBS Galazzo Network Instagram. I got a notification on my phone saying, Buckets, you've been invited to collab with CBS Galazzo. And I went, holy shit. This is so cool. This is amazing. They sent me the post. John Buckets Elmer. Oh, and there's all these comments and there's all these interactions. It's going to be my most interacted with my post ever. And it's not my name, Ian. What do you do with that?
Listen, maybe whoever created that post there, they just lost, a few bets with you recently. So that's why they've called you Elmer. Like, they're so used to having the L's. Someone's messing around there, right? I mean, if they've tagged you in it and it clearly says John, does it not say John Eimer?
No, it's Bucket John Betts.
So there's the mistake right there. Nobody knew it, right? And they don't know why Buckets is there. But now they know Buckets, so they'll get it right next time. I'm absolutely certain of that one. But congratulations to you as well. Obviously, a big part of the CBS Sports family across the board. Know the early edge stuff and very active now on the social media platforms. Watch this space for John Bucketimer, continuously having his name out there, hopefully spelled correctly across our social media and also hopefully soon on the Galazzo Network as well. Today, we got a Champions League final special. It's going to be an absolute banger for you betting lovers out there. We're going to get fired into the bets very quickly. We're going to be tackling, obviously, the big game in multiple ways. But John Bucketimer, as we discuss the final, let's just discuss the two teams who are in there and what your feeling is, obviously, as we go closer to this final. It's Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan.
It is such a tough game to predict. And before I say anything, I just want to congratulate IPJ, because if you are a long-time FC Stoppage Time viewer, you know that back in the group stage,
Inter Milan plus 1400 is a fucking dangerous play for the bookmakers, because Inter Milan have been rotating their side and making sure that by they get to March, April, May, they are fully fit and ready to go. Watch out for Inter Milan at plus 1400. I think it's worth a little small unit on there or two just for a little bit of fun, because I think Inter Milan could get to the final. That is for sure. Can I throw you another couple of dark horses? Last week I mentioned Inter Milan as the dark horse at plus 1200 they are right now. How about Paris Saint-Germain? They may have scraped through into the playoffs, but PSG at plus 1200 on the futures is also a sexy look.
We're talking months ago. Ian said keep an eye out for PSG and keep an eye out for Inter Milan. Those were his two dark horses. He didn't talk about Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Arsenal. He talked about PSG and Inter. So credit where credit is due to you. When I'm looking at these teams, I think it's going to shock a lot of people here because we have two very equal teams. There's not a lot of wiggle room on the sports books. The sports books, frankly, don't know who's going to win this game. And how could anyone? PSG has been tremendous in the group stage. They've been tremendous in group or in league. They've been so good across all competitions and have so many good goal scorers. But so does Inter. I mean, Inter got Marcus Thuram, who's in incredible form. They've got, of course, Lautaro Martinez. There are so many good goal scorers on this pitch, Ian. It's going to be hard for me to bet on anything other than goals. But historically, that might not be the move in some of the recent years of Champions League.
When you look at the odds right now, as it sits, this will move obviously as we get closer to the game. And then also once the lineups come out, I'm sure it will move even more so, maybe drastically so. But plus 120 for Paris Saint-Germain to get it done in the 90 minutes, plus 235 for Inter Milan to get it done in the 90 minutes. Like, where would you be leaning there? Where's the money to be made there? Where are you betting cautiously there?
I am very, very cautiously leaning towards Inter Milan. Again, I think either team could win this. It's going to be a battle of the slightest mistakes or the slightest moments of brilliance to bring their teams ahead. But I really like what Inter Milan have done to get this point because Inter Milan has shown the ability to evolve how they play. In the group stage, they
Mhm.
were the best defensive unit, hands down. Only one goal conceded in 8 matches. Then they got to the knockout stage. They played the big timers like Barcelona, and they realized we can't play defensively, and they evolved and they changed and they were able to outscore Barcelona. I cannot underestimate how important and how much that means to me. I think Inter keep it close, but ultimately, Ian, I think they're going to lift the cup.
Yeah, listen, it's a great thing that you've said right there. So you must be quite excited when you see this then to win it. Just to win it. Doesn't matter how. Inter Milan currently sitting at plus
Plus
130,
130.
PSG minus 165. I mean, plus numbers for Inter Milan. And I think they've confused all of us soccer lovers out there after that performance against Barcelona, because I did not see that coming. I know I predicted maybe it's a dark horse, but when they got Barcelona in the fashion that the game was, I mean, Barcelona were in good form. They just absolutely smashed Real Madrid. And yeah, I was confused by that performance and tactically how so smart they were going into that game against Barcelona. Now also against Paris Saint-Germain, it's another team that plays very offensive-minded football, scores a ton of goals. And listen, Inter Milan have got 8 clean sheets this season in the Champions League, which is ridiculous. I think the record's 9, so they're chasing that record. But this is amazing. Plus 130 just to win it. They could win it in penalty kicks. They could win it in extra time. I mean, just to win it, plus 130, plus numbers, you must be, yeah, it's starting to shake a little bit or sweat a little bit when you see those numbers.
Yeah, I'm drooling a little bit when I see Inter at plus 130, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later when we get into the bets. But you got to just look at how they played all their games. They took out Barcelona, they took out Bayern Munich, they took out Feyenoord, and in every one of the knockout stage matches, they scored at least 2 goals to make that happen. I really like that line at plus 130, and frankly, I think this should be an even coin flip. I think it should be minus 120, minus 120, something like that. I just think
Yeah.
that's not enough credit to how Inter's been playing.
I think that will be as we get closer to kickoff. It will get a
Agreed.
little bit closer. This is quite drastically the departure, obviously, the separation between the two of them as well. No player odds right now. So as you look at the top goal scorers, it looks like we're going to have a shared golden boot with Rafinha and Sergio Girassi, which is quite crazy because anyone who had that ticket, I would imagine, Buckets, if you had a Rafinha or a Girassi ticket, you're probably going to win.
Yeah, no, unless if Lautaro Martinez or Dembele has the absolute game of history. I mean, a 6 goal, 4 goal, whatever, it's not possible. Congratulations. I want to say to Sergio Girassi because Barcelona got a lot more games in than Dortmund did. Maybe not a lot, but enough. So it's going to be split there. I don't see anyone catching up at this point.
Helps when you got Celtic in your group and you smashed them by 7 goals to
Yeah.
1 or whatever it was in the first game. You know, it wouldn't be an episode of Stoppage Time if we didn't get some wagers from our betting expert. Yes, that is right. The blonde bombshell. Our betting unicorn, John Buckets. I'm a Buckets. It is time. It is the Champions League final. And I'm looking for 3 best bets from you in 60 seconds each. You can take your time. I'll react to them as well. I'm looking for a money line or a 2-win bet. Obviously, we just discussed the odds right there. So you can go whichever way you want. And you can also explain in detail. I'll react no matter how much time you give me. I'm also looking for a player prop bet. So I'm looking for you to really buy into a player who you think is going to be the difference maker when it comes to this matchup. Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan. I'm also looking for a same game parlay. It can be a same player parlay. It could be a same parlay. Whatever way you want to go, it has to have same something in it. So therefore, the loyal listeners will expect. Are you ready to go?
Producer Jeff, start that clock, baby. Which way? This way. Let's do it.
All right, it's the Champions League final. It is Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan. Bet number 1. Buckets, you got to choose a winner. Which way you going?
I am going with Inter Milan to lift the cup at plus 130. Inter Milan are a tactical chameleon. They can morph their play style entirely to match their opponents and to play against the best teams in Europe like we've seen them do against Barcelona and Bayern Munich and Feyenoord and everyone else. They have been so good in Champions League play. And no matter how good PSG is, they'll probably score. They'll keep it close. I just don't think they have enough when it comes down to it. When it comes down to that big moment in the last 10 minutes, Inter Milan will hold on. Lift the cup at 130 is where I have to go for this one.
I love this look, Buckets, but I would say to everybody out there, please bet responsibly. Inter Milan, incredible defense, but they were also exposed by Barcelona. Are you worried about them conceding?
Yes, I think they concede, but it won't matter. Take it to PKs. I don't care how you get there. Let's go Inter.
I like that, Buckets. I like that. Okay, you're leaning heavily on it there. You're betting cautiously, but you're also passionately behind it. Are you ready for the second one?
Let's do it.
Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan. Bet number 2, Buckets. I'm looking for something from a player prop, maybe a goal scorer. Could be any time to score or assist. Whichever way you want to go, let us know now.
Well, we've already talked about how I'm backing Inter to make some magic happen, so I got to back an Inter player, and I am looking at no one else other than Marcus Thuram to score or assist. Plus 200, Ian. I know it's the Champions League. I know that these are usually cagey, pretty low-scoring affairs, but plus 200 for Marcus Thuram, who has the most goal contributions in Serie A for Inter, is a disrespectful line. 14 goals and 4 assists in his 27 starts with Inter. Not quite as effective or proficient in the Champions League, but in these big matches, the big players have to show up. Thuram, if you want to win this game, you got to make something happen here.
Marcus Thuram in the Champions League, 4 goals, 1 assist. He is someone who's trying to create history. So if you're looking for a player best bet out there, our boy, John Bucketsheimer, just gave you an absolute golden ticket. Buckets, you're absolutely on fire here, but I can see you're leaning very heavy in the favor of Inter Milan to get the job done in this game. So I cannot wait for this next best bet. Are you ready to go?
Yep, let's do it.
Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan. Same game parlay. Buckets, take it away.
It's a weird one, but it's plus money, baby. I'm going with both teams to score, Ian. Parlayed with under 4.5 goals at plus 110. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. Buckets, both teams to score has not hit in a Champions League final in the last 6 Champions League finals. I do not care, because none of those matches included PSG and Inter Milan, 2 teams that know that they cannot win this without scoring goals. These are 2 teams whose defenses cannot hold up right now to good counterattack. So I'm expecting goals in this one. But after this gets 1-1 or, God forbid, 2-1 in either direction, it's going to slow down. Over 4.5 goals has only hit once in the last 12 Champions League finals, Ian. I like this look a lot.
Buckets, does it concern you that in the semi-final there was 13 goals in 2 games?
I knew you'd go there. No, it doesn't concern me yet. A little.
Maybe. I don't know. Just a little bit. Bet responsibly. Buckets, that was great, man. And I tell you what, you are someone who's leaning heavy. I didn't think you were going to go in this direction. And I'm really intrigued to see what you think about my best bets here. Don't need the clock for this one, Producer Jeff. So I'm just basically going to lay it out for you. And I'm going to ask you your opinion and then how crazy I actually am to do so. So instead of going for Inter Milan to win it overall, you went for it then. No matter which way, it could be obviously in the 90 minutes, it could be in extra time, it could be obviously in penalty kicks as well. No matter which way, you've gone for that plus 130 Inter Milan. I think Paris Saint-Germain get the job done in the 90 minutes. No. So I'm leaning on the money line plus 120 for PSG to score goals in this game, John Bucketsheimer. I'm going for Paris Saint-Germain. I'm going for Luis Enrique. They've impressed me immensely with what they've done in this competition so far. They score too many goals. They create too many chances. They're far too dangerous. And I said the same thing about Barcelona. So what I'm saying to everybody out there is bet responsibly, because this is a cup final. Remember what happened when Inter faced Manchester City in the cup final? It was 1-0. It was a drab game. It wasn't interesting. It was boring. Okay, maybe for you City fans, you enjoyed it. But for the rest of us out there who didn't have a horse in the race, it was a boring game. I don't expect this to be the case. I think we get goals and we get drama in this game. So therefore, I'm thinking PSG score more than Inter Milan. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you're wrong because I bet on Inter. So one of us has to lose this game now no matter what, Ian. I am just concerned a little bit, to play devil's advocate here. I do think PSG score. That is not my problem. But I don't know if they can keep up with what Inter are doing right now with the evolving play styles. I'm looking at this PSG side who absolutely flattened Arsenal. And that game was embarrassing for Arsenal in both legs. And I lost bets on both legs backing Arsenal. I have been a PSG doubter all season long. And as good as this squad is here, Ian, I think they're going to need more than 1 year after Kylian Mbappe left to really get that Champions League final. I think that the experience that Inter has is going to help carry them in this leg. That being said, I do think they score. I'm not doubting you there, but I'm staying away from it, baby. Inter's with me.
I think you're underestimating this Paris Saint-Germain side and how dangerous they are. I actually favored them to cause problems for Barcelona and probably beat Barcelona. I tipped them on my CBS Sports bracket to win the whole competition, no matter who they played in the final. They've scored 33 goals in 16 Champions League games this season, Paris Saint-Germain have, but they've also conceded 15 goals in those games as well. So it tells me, Buckets, that there's going to be goals. So who's the goal scorer going to be? All right, here's my player prop bet. Ousmane Dembele to score or give an assist is in plus numbers. He is plus 110. Now, I know you're with Inter Milan to win this, but you cannot turn your head away from plus 110 Ousmane Dembele. The guy's unbelievable. 2025, he's the most on fire player in the whole of football, scoring goals galore and obviously assisting as well. What do you think about this play?
I will agree with this play. And if you follow John Elmer on CBS Galazzo, he also agreed with this play. I was on Dembele to score or assist. I had to give one for both teams here. He's been so good, and not just in league play. Yes, he dominated in League which you can argue about how impressive that is. It has been impressive all season long. But in Champions League as well, he's leading PSG right now with 8 goals and 4 assists. So he's one of those players you're not just relying on him to score. He's okay tossing off the ball at the last second. He's okay linking up with Bradley Barcola or Special K or these other big players that PSG has. He has been tremendous. And at plus 110, if you're going to see goals like both IPJ and I think we will see, I love that bet. I don't love it for my Inter ticket, but I love that bet.
Listen, just hold on to that thought because it's going to get crazier in a minute. But let me read some stats out to you. This guy has scored 33 goals across all competitions this season and had 11 assists across all competitions this season. I mean, that is just so spectacular. And I know he's in the Champions League final. It's an opportunity for him to create history. But what he did do in the Champions League, 8 goals, 4 assists in 14 appearances. I'll bet he gets on the score sheet. I was almost going to go for anytime goal scorer, but I'm providing a little bit of safety by having the assist in there as well, because I just don't think that this Inter team are going to be able to stop Barcelona from scoring a goal. So are you ready for some craziness?
I think so. We'll see.
Here's my parlay. Now, this is an interesting one. It's not a same game parlay, it's a player parlay. I am looking at Kvicha Kvaratskhelia to assist Ousmane Dembele on a goal for Paris Saint-Germain. I have gone to the crazy land here. It's plus 1,000. This is for you loyal listeners out there that are just absolutely wild. So whatever I do is I tell everybody to bet responsibly, but I do think that this has got an opportunity to hit because the partnership between Kvicha Kvaradona and, of course, Ousmane Dembele. They are just unbelievable this season. And I think Kvara coming into PSG has been the perfect piece of that puzzle that was missing. Mbappe was obviously quality. He's a legend at the football club. But I do think he held PSG back with their team chemistry. They're a better team. With Kvara in there, they went out and handpicked this guy, brought him in. They're in a Champions League final now. The way he runs on that left-hand side, Ousmane just arriving inside that penalty box, maybe at the near post to sneak it in the back of the net. Boom! Plus 1,000 ticket cashed. Buckets, I can envision it now.
I can envision it now as well, unfortunately. And plus 1,000. How do you not? Here's what I'm going to tell everyone right now. On a Champions League game, we bet all the time on all these crazy leagues and find great value. You will never find sharper lines anywhere than the Champions League final. This is where the books have done all of their research. They've invested millions of dollars in getting the tightest lines possible. You have to go in here with the mentality that you are doing this to have fun. And there's nothing more fun than putting a plus 1,000 ticket on a double assist like this. It's a great line. It's a great look. And frankly, I'm going to play it, and maybe for a full unit, because I'm going to have some fun, damn it. And it's a great shout. I like this a lot.
Listen, it's a good shout. And also bet responsibly because Kvara is not necessarily always known for his assisting or goal scoring. He's just involved in being a key player in the team. Since he arrived at Paris Saint-Germain, 6 goals, 5 assists across all competitions. Not so active in the Champions League with the 2 goals and 2 assists to his name. He obviously did get active with Napoli before he left. 5 goals, 3 assists before he left as well to arrive at Paris Saint-Germain in the winter. What a great addition he's been for that squad. Luis Enrique's decision was to go for him. Buckets, at the end of the day, give me a scoreline prediction of what you're actually looking for from this game. It is obviously the Champions League final. We're looking at Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Milan. We're both going in different directions here, but this is one of the best games that we will ever see. Entertaining teams. Inter are not necessarily the defensive-minded team that they were in the group stage. They went after Barcelona and scored a ridiculous 7 goals against them across 2 ties. Buckets, this could go anywhere. Where are you going? Give me a scoreline prediction and how you see this playing out.
I am going for something crazy here because I think we're going to break the trend of KG Champions League finals. I am going, Ian, with a 2-2 draw that will not be decided until they get to penalty kicks, with Inter Milan lifting the cup at the end.
Wow, a 2-2 draw in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, a
seeing goals
2-2.
here.
So I'm just going to throw this out there because it might as well. Total goals for 90 minutes. And obviously, this is before extra time for all you loyal listeners out there that are jumping in and enjoying this, the Champions League final without knowing soccer. Over 3.5 total goals in regular time is currently sitting at plus 250.
And correct score 2-2 is currently sitting at plus 1300 if you want to get really crazy with
Let's just throw out as many odds as we can right
it.
now. I love it. I think it's a great response, but I'm going to go against you here. I, unfortunately, I've
Don't
got
do
a
it.
real good
Don't
friend of
do it.
mine that's a strong Inter fan. He's probably going to watch this one. So I'm not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is. Paris Saint-Germain to score 4 goals against Inter. And
No
Paris
way.
Saint-Germain to win by 4-1. I think both teams score. I think there's going to be an over in 90 minutes as well. I'm not looking at stoppage time, extra time. I'm looking at, obviously, 90 minutes plus stoppage time, but no extra time. I think PSG get the job done. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be goals. I don't think PSG are going to miss their opportunity to snap up that trophy for the first time in their history. This is their moment. And another thing I want to throw at you, I don't know if you saw it, but Inzaghi, the coach from Inter Milan, who is obviously doing such a tremendous job, he's obviously disappointed they didn't do great in the Coppa Italia that got knocked out by Milan. Then obviously they lost Scudetto to Napoli. But Simone Inzaghi has been rumored to be leaving Inter, which is a crazy timing for these news to come out here. And apparently he's going to get paid $400 trillion to go to Saudi Arabia. But if it does happen, it would be great for him, obviously, financially. I was only kidding on the actual figures there, but it will be a lot. But I do think the timing is very odd here. And I think for Paris Saint-Germain, it's been calm, quiet, focused. Your thoughts on that, Bucket? I mean, it's kind of crazy going into a final.
My thoughts is that IPJ just beat me on the craziest odds because a 4-1 correct score, Ian, is plus 4,800. If you want to take 4-1 PSG, which I think is a crazy scoreline, but we're both in the same ballpark of goals. I mean, if you want to take that over 2.5 at minus 120, the over 3.5 at plus 240, if you can have some fun with this one, because I agree with him that I really do think we see goals, and I wouldn't be shocked if PSG score a couple, but my word, 4 would just be something. It'd be tough for me to watch that, honestly.
I just hope we get a good game. Sometimes you get to these finals and it's just like, boring, I don't want that. I just hope it's a good game that's entertaining. I mean, I wouldn't even matter if it's 4-1 to Inter. Obviously, I want people out there to have success. But realistically now, one of us are going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong, right? So we've given everybody out there an opportunity to win. So we'll either be celebrated or criticized on social media after this final coming up on Saturday. You can watch it, of course, on Paramount Plus. CBS Sports are all over it. And CBS Sports Golazo Network, you'll watch myself on Scoreline later that evening with Adam Hunt. We'll be breaking it all down for you. Obviously, the crew will be very active. I think they're actually on location in Munich as well, where the final is. Kate, Scott, and the crew will be there. So I'm looking forward to seeing the pre-game show and watching the coverage all go down. And then, of course, the match day crew as well and CBS Sports Golazo Network will be over it as well. Buckets, you would be doing some early edge stuff, I would imagine.
I am going to be all over the place over the next 2 days. I'll be on Early Edge. I'll be on CBS Sports Network tomorrow afternoon, both around noon and around 6 p.m. as well. And then I'll be on Saturday at 11 a.m. as well, doing some more pre-kickoff action. So I'm
Yeah, you know
everywhere
what?
right now.
You know what's kind of crazy? Like I walk into the studio now and I see your face on the TV because we have like HQ and we have Galazzo Network on there, and like you just randomly appear on whatever network. It's just I just see your face and I'm like, there he is. Every time I see it, I'll take a picture and send it to you. Listen, it's been a busy week for me. I've been in Toronto this past week and very active now with Major League Soccer. It's nice to get back in the booth. I'm loving every minute of it, Buckets. But I think it's already out there. We've mentioned it before in the show, and I know the loyal listeners who are sending me some messages on X, naughty messages as well, that 0-0 was the scoreline that was to be predicted in that game because, of course, my 2 games back in the booth both ended in 0-0. This one, Toronto, obviously at home against Philadelphia Union, top of the East, scoring goals galore. What happened for 70 minutes, Buckets?
0-0 in the 74th minute. I was sweating. I was
Yeah.
about to. I was so worried for you.
You were sweating. I was about to hit someone in my booth, man. I was going nuts. Like, give me a goal desperately. I was begging, willing for a goal. I just don't want to be a curse. I don't want to be in that booth when it's 0-0, 3 games in a row. I think that's ever happened in history. So, yes, eventually we got the goal, and then Toronto threw the game away towards the closing stages. And Philadelphia Union, what a team, by the way. They are playing some good football. Not at their best against Toronto, but still found a way to win. They're a dangerous team right now. So, what I want to do with you, Buckets, if it's okay, maybe have a look at the fixtures that are coming up in Major League Soccer this weekend so we can give our loyal listeners a little something extra after the Champions League final to look forward to.
Let's do it. I got to take my shirt off real quick, but I'll let you get started.
Yeah, you take your shirt off, Buckets, and we'll call it the X-rated show. There he is. There he is, the Columbus Crew biggest fan. Yep,
Missing
Ohio's
a star still.
one and only, missing a star. Got it for 2/3 of the price right there, Buckets. Here's a look at the fixture. St. Louis City obviously just fired their manager against San Jose. Nashville against NYCFC got smashed. NYCFC got smashed by Houston during the week this week. Montreal against New England will be fun to look forward to. Cincinnati, DC. Inter Milan, Inter Messi, Inter whatever you want to call them. Inter Miami against Columbus Crew will be an absolute banger of a game, Buckets. Your thoughts on that one real quickly?
Well, I think we're going to give it some bets on the show later, and I have one for this game. I think we'll see goals. I'll just say
Scratch. We'll move on. New York Red Bull against Atlanta United as well. Was that Messi sending you a message? I feel like that was Messi sending a message saying anytime goal scorer. Orlando against Chicago as well to look forward to. And then, of course, Toronto, who need a victory right now. My good friend Robin Fraser in charge of them against Charlotte. Dallas against Philadelphia is a cracker because Dallas are actually getting back into decent form against Philadelphia, who are top of the East. Houston Sporting. Vancouver, one of the good sides against Portland. That one looks like it's scratched off there because Vancouver are obviously competing in the champions, and we wish them all the best as they represent North America. And obviously, head down to Mexico for that big game. And then LA Galaxy, Salt Lake Galaxy can't buy a win right now. LAFC against Colorado, San Diego against Austin. And then Sunday night soccer, Buckets, is Seattle Sounders against Minnesota. And it's apparently been going very well, the Sunday night soccer for Major League Soccer, because a lot of people are tuning in to watch it, which is quite nice to see because Major League Soccer is continuing to grow again. Hey, Buckets, I want to point out a few things here. Let's have a look at the futures real quickly and let me know your thoughts on this one. Inter Miami, favorites.
Oh, no, they shouldn't be favorites. They're not playing good football right now. I know that they're 6th on the table and they're capable of scoring and doing blah, blah. They should not be favorites. Don't bet it. It's not worth the plus 500. Take someone fun. Go for something crazy. Don't go. Play Philly Union at 900. Or play LAFC at 1,000. That's where I'd go.
I tell you what, Philly Union right now, after watching them play recently and studying them, obviously leading into that Toronto game, they've got a guy called Bradley Carnell as their manager. South African guy, played in Germany while I was over there. Very nice guy. He's created a culture there. That winning culture. When you see like the players have all bought in, they all believe in this manager, that they can do something special. Philadelphia right now, I don't know what it is for them to make it to MLS Cup just to compete in the final. Would be interesting to see those odds. But to win it at plus 900 is a real steal right now. I'm going to throw it out there just in case people want to snap on it. They're a real dangerous team. Top goal scorer right now, they've got, of course, the main man, Ty Baribo, is on 13 goals. Brian White on 10 goals. 2 classy goal scorers right there. Sam Surridge is in great form for Nashville as well with 9 goals to his name. Anyone catch your attention, Buckets, with the goal scores recently?
I always forget that Choupo-Moting plays at New York Red Bulls now. I remember him at Bayern Munich playing at the 9 spot, and I saw him score a couple weeks ago, and I went, whoa, that's right. He's in MLS right now. Guy you want to keep an eye on, but Ty Baribo is what I've been looking at lately. I played him to score in that game that you were casting. Was disappointed when he did it, but he's just been so good right now. He is lethal when he's up, in the right fit.
Killer positional play as well. Sometimes he was a little bit unfortunate against Toronto. Real quickly on Eric's Maxime Choupo-Moting, he was a academy player when I was at HSV Hamburg. He was like in the under 10s, 11s, or 12, something like that. Like he's young. He's real young. He's old now, but he was young back then. Yeah, he was a good maybe 8 or 9 years younger than me. And I always remember seeing him in the youth, and he came up to train with, I was playing in the under 23 teams for Hamburg at the time. And he used to come up and train every now and again. I'd see him around the academy that I used to stay at for a month there. And you could clearly see that even back then, he was a proper player, and you could see he had something special about him. Obviously, the career he went on to have is really remarkable. In Paris Saint-Germain, he had success there, and of course at Bayern Munich most recently. But he's had success pretty much everywhere he's gone. All right, so top goal scorer. Here's the odds right now, Buckets. Plus 400 for Lionel Messi. Baribo is plus 500 right now. Brian White, obviously, second on the list right now, is at plus 700. Where are you going now?
The Messi line is tough. right? Because I know it's Messi and we want to bet on him, and Inter Miami can score 8 goals against anyone, but he just doesn't play enough games for me to back him. He's at 8 goals right now this season, but we do see him sit a lot. So it's just something I'd be careful for, especially with Miami doing so many showcases and different games during the season. Right now, I got to look at Ty Barabo. Until someone else shows me they're as good as him, he's going to be my guy I play. At plus 500, he's kind of a little bit, not the best odds there, but that's where I'd go.
If you were looking for a long shot, which of these long shots would you be interested in?
I think I'd have to go for Choupo-Moting at plus 2,000. I mean, I'm going, it's Red Bull, so I know we don't necessarily love what they're doing there, but he's a guy that has experience playing in the top leagues with the top teams. If he pops off, he's going to be deadly.
Yeah, and I think that's a good shout as well. But Luis Suarez has got 4 goals in the season so far. I know he's 9 away from the leading goal scorer right now. But if Inter Miami do eventually go on a run, and Messi's like teeing him up, Jordi Alba's teeing him up, Sergio Busquets is pulling off that amazing pick that he does, Suarez could go on a roll, man, because that guy could score a hat-trick in any game, and then all of a sudden he's getting closer. It doesn't look like he can run very far right now, but producer Jeff jumping in and saying Boanga at plus 2,000, which is not a bad shout. He is one of my favorite players to watch in Major League Soccer, obviously for LAFC. Every time he picks up possession of the ball and runs at defenses, he makes it look very scary to defend. I, first and foremost, would absolutely hate to play against him, but he's absolutely flying right now. He's got 7 goals on the season, but there's more goals in him as well. If that's a dark horse to look forward to, plus 2,000, you like that?
I don't hate it. What I'm confused by is I don't know what team Jeff supports anymore. Is he a Crew guy? Is he an Austin guy? Is he an LAFC guy? Jeff, I don't know where you're going. I don't think it's a bad shout, but it's not where I'm putting my money.
He's a Borussia Dortmund fan. I'd like to remind you, top 4 of the Bundesliga this year. Borussia Dortmund will be in the Champions League next year, just to let everybody know. Okay, 3 best bets from you. 60 seconds. We can discuss it as well. Any game you want, we can react to it, whatever you want as well. So are you ready?
I'm going to have to go on the fly a bit because I have 2 best bets. So for the third one, I'll have to do some live action studying here. I can make it happen, though. I'm confident in my skills.
Oh, I love this. Oh, I absolutely love this one. All right, roll the clock. Let's get going, producer Jeff, because 60 seconds starts now. Major League Soccer, best bet number 1 from Buckets.
Best bet number 1 is going to that Inter Miami versus my beloved 2-star that should be a 3-star Columbus Crew. And there's only one way you bet either of these clubs right now, and that's betting for a bleep ton of goals. There, I did your job for you there, Jeff. Inter Miami does not play defense. Full stop. This is a team that scores a ridiculous amount of goals with 31 goals scored in 50 matches, but they've conceded 26. They have the most goals scored and allowed combined out of any team in all of MLS right now. If you see them play, you bet the over, especially when they're playing an out-of-form Columbus Crew. I'm going to over 3.5 goals at plus 110 because this game might have 7 goals in it right now, Ian.
Yeah, I love it. And Columbus Crew also with the 26 goals that they've scored in the 16 games plus 19 they have conceded as well. Columbus are pretty much a difficult team to beat, though. They've only lost 2 games on the season, so I'd be very careful going against them. But the way Messi's playing right now after that performance in midweek against Montreal, who knows? All right, let's fire it off to Major League Soccer best bet number 2. Buckets, where you going? Can't hear you, but it would be wonderful to hear that bet.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to take some time off, make it harder on myself. FC Dallas versus Philadelphia Union. We've already talked a bunch about how good this Philadelphia Union side is and how that they are changing their squad entirely. This is a team that could make a very deep run into the playoffs. But if they're going to do that, they got to rely on Ty Barabo to score or assist. It's plus 100. You can take just anytime goal scorer because he only has a single assist this season. But the fact that he didn't score in their most recent fixtures, being the striker that he is, means that he's going to be hungry to get back on the score sheet. He's leading the Golden Boot race, and at plus 100, it's dumb odds. I got to take it.
He got a couple of goals against Inter Miami before that game against Toronto. And against Toronto, he was marked very closely. I think it's Monlouis, the defender, who then came off. And as soon as Monlouis came off, Philadelphia eventually scored. But yeah, great player, always in the right place, right time. Major League Soccer, best bet number 3. Buckets, where you go?
Best bet number 3, I'm looking at a club that you don't want to talk about, but that's okay because I'll talk about them. New York Red Bulls taking on Atlanta United. And I'm looking at another player that we've already talked about in recent minutes here. I'm looking at Choupo-Moting, him anytime goal scorer right now, plus 135. He is the man, the myth, the legend from PSG and Bayern Munich. He is the guy who is helping this New York Red Bull team turn things around. And they're playing an Atlanta United side right now that is just leaking goals. They conceded twice to Orlando City. They conceded twice to FC Cincinnati. They are scoring, so maybe you take the BTTS and the over here. But New York Red Bulls at home will put at least 2 in. And if they're going to get 2, Choupo-Moting is going to be a part of this.
BTTS and the over hit in the last 2 games. Atlanta United won both of those home games, 4-2 against Cincinnati, 3-2 against Orlando. And in the league play already this season, Atlanta United have conceded 28 goals. It's a good game, though. Bet responsibly, everybody. All right, Buckets, there's another episode of Stoppage Time in the books. Really appreciate the effort from you. Obviously, the Champions League is right around the corner. Go subscribe, obviously, to fcstoppagetime.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing to our YouTube, and commenting as well. You know, the comments make me happy. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League? What is your best bet in the Champions League? Maybe on the recap show that we do next week, we can discuss some of the best comments that have actually been thrown in there with the bets that actually hit, or one crazy bet that maybe just narrowly missed as well. Buckets, where will you be when you are watching this game this weekend?
I will be at home by myself on my computer, sweating out a bunch of bets, just kind of in a fetal position like this, watching PSG shoot time and time again. But I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to have a couple bevies, and I'm just going to enjoy the day. I'm going to make a whole day of it, Ian.
Just out of curiosity, as I mentioned to everybody to bet responsibly, like how many wagers would you place on a Champions League final? I mean, this is the best club competition in world football, right? And you've got to probably go a little bit heavier than you normally would. Like, what unit sizes are you like going half units on some bets? Like, how are you playing this whole day? Because I want to teach betting responsibly, but if there is a bet, as you pointed out there, a day to bet, this is probably it.
This is absolutely it. And of course, always remember, don't bet money that you're not willing to lose. But for the Europa Conference final between Chelsea and Real Betis, I had 9 wagers on that game. But every single wager was a half unit. So absolute worst case scenario, if I somehow go 0-9, I'm down 4.5 units, which is not good by any means, but it's not catastrophic. Have fun with it. Place as many wagers as you want, but be responsible. Cut your unit size down. I'll probably do the exact same thing, half a unit on everything across the Champions League game, but I'm going to enjoy every second of this, man.
You heard the main man right there. That's John Bucketsheimer, absolutely rocking it once again here on Stoppage Time for you all there. Thanks to producer Jeff for all of his magic and doing a late night special for you as we record this one ahead of the Champions League final. It is Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Milan. Make sure you watch it. Of course, on Saturday, it will be on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports. We'll have coverage around that as well. Watch me on Scoreline after it. Make sure everybody's there to watch it. Buckets will be on CBS Sports' coverage around the clock, and he'll be on the early edge as well. So please, everybody, bet responsibly. Make sure this weekend during the Champions League that you absolutely have it!
Stoppage time.
Good.